So here I am, and the weekend was fantastic because today we have the actors and the director of a lovely film. Is love enough? Question mark and then sir. So it's Is Love Enough, Sir? That's the film, a film that released on Netflix over the weekend, and it's trending at number 2 on Netflix, if I'm not wrong. And the film was also shown at Cannes in 2018. Talks of a very delicate topic where a heartbroken young businessman falls in love with his domestic help. It's very obvious in the trailer. Of course, to make such a film that touches your core, questions your morals, and looks inwardly, you need gritty, strong performers and an equally courageous director like Rohina. So here we have with us, let's welcome Tilotama Shom, Vivek Bomber, and director Rohina Gera. Hi!
Hi.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Thank you for joining me. I saw the film last night, guys, and I felt super happy, but I felt so bad. I felt so guilty as charged. I felt like, oh my God, such a simple film, yet such a powerful, effective film. And then I was like, I have all these prejudices in my mind, and why am I getting this moment when they come close? And it's such a bad mindset that probably we are conditioned with, and all of that. So my very first question to all three of you is there a sequel to this film? Tell me. No, you've left me. I mean, no, don't end it. Is there a sequel? See, I like how this non-committal smiles and everybody's like, Oh my God, like y'all are really not saying anything?
Well, I'm sort of waiting to see who wants to who wants to answer there.
Well, I would just say one thing, that I remember when we were making it, Rohina said that the way the film ends, if this question comes that the audience want to see what happens next, then we have kind of achieved what we set out to achieve. So it's really good to hear that you felt that way. And a lot of feedback that we've been getting is, people want to know what happens to them, what happens to Ratna and Ashwin. So, I mean, just hearing that alone is quite a reward. I don't know about the sequel or anything, but if Rohina has another film she wants to cast us in, I'm sure we'll be fine.
Tilotama, would you like a sequel of the film? Would you like to see where Ratna goes from here?
I would love to work with Rohina again, whether it's as Ratna or as anyone else.
Yeah.
But sometimes some things are best left to your imagination.
No! You just broke my heart. Oh, no.
No,
Okay.
listen, it was a battle. It was a battle to make this film, and Rohina took it on. We just joined her in the journey.
Yeah.
But we didn't have to stand in the forefront, and take all the hits, right? So today it's great that it's trending number 2 on Netflix, but it was really, it's all thanks to really the audience.
Yeah.
And Rohina's faith in the audience,
Yeah.
She really believes that her film, with where it ends, without a sequel, without creating an entire industry, this small film is going to connect to an audience. So it's for me, I feel like that this has been the success of the film, that she knows her audience. She actually believes that her film had an audience even when no one did. And frankly, for me, I have no idea of what film works and what film doesn't, because I've seen so many of my films not being watched. So for me, really, it's a triumph. It's really Rohina's triumph. And it's nice to leave it to the imagination, because it's like reading a book. No, you can read it and two people read the same page differently. And so, yeah.
Nice.
I think going from what Tilotama is saying, right? For me, the end is really what each person makes of it, and I think that's the point of the film, because people have different ideas about what will happen next, and I think that's what it's about. Like, why do you think what you think, right? If you think it is possible, or if you think it's not, that's really the question the film is asking. Why do you think that this is possible, or why do you think it's so difficult, or what is this hurdle exactly? And I think the sequel really, ideally should live in the hearts and minds of people who watched it, you know.
Right.
For me, at least for now.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people asking for a sequel. It's quite funny.
Yeah.
I never thought that would happen, but it's quite funny.
Yeah, I think because I just watched it like yesterday, so it's at the top of my mind that, oh, what happened? Like what? Like did she call him Ashwin and then what did she live in? Like what did she do? But that's fine. I'll go with this.
I think that's the triumph of the actors, because people
Yeah.
want to hang out with them more. They want to be with them more, and I think that's a wonderful thing that they've achieved.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I want to ask you, Rohina, your idea behind making this film. Now, it's hard, and you would agree to remove that prejudice that Indian mindsets are conditioned with. Yet, it's so important, and you've touched upon such an important aspect of everything here. Even our mindsets when we kind of hire domestic help outside of India changes so much, because we are used to domestic help in India, and it's so different abroad, and there's no Maushi and Chachi and Kaku here who's going to, work those extra 2 hours for you. So what was your idea behind making this film, really?
I think, well, for me, I grew up with live-in help. Okay, so, and as a child, I could feel that there was something wrong with this picture, the way that this person was so close to me, because as a kid, you're going to hug like you said, the maushi or the person who takes care of you. And I would sit on her lap and eat in the kitchen when she was eating, but she would never eat at the table with us, which in India is sort of obvious. Of course not, right? But I could feel that there was something wrong with that picture. And it just took years for me to figure out how to address it. In what way could you talk about this without doing something sort of preachy and boring, or how do you address it? And also because I didn't have an answer. I still don't have an answer. How does one change things like a tiny step at a time? And I think the film for me was really me posing that question to myself, because as I was writing, I had no idea how it would end. I had no idea what I was like. I sort of created these two characters and threw them together, and then I was like, I don't know what's going to happen. Wow. And so for me, it was that journey.
Like Vivek and Tilotama. Oh my God. Super. Tilotama, I had a crush on you right after the film. Like I was like, oh, these little finer nuances and this chemistry between you. There's so much silence. There are so many of these long shots and you're like waiting for something to happen. Even like when you all keep crossing every time he comes home and you're crossing that corridor, and I'm literally looking at every finger and every elbow of the two of you, like, are you touching? Is it crossing? What's happening? Like, because right? You're anticipating so much. And then it just didn't feel like acting. Yeah, nothing felt like acting. What were your thoughts, both of you, once you all read the script?
Really?
Okay, let's start with Tilotama.
It was acting fully, and what I felt when I read the script, very much like you, I felt very guilty of of the imperfections and the inequality that my own behavior that exists in me, and I think making this film was a small step towards some sort of reconciliation and some sort of work, working on it. And also, I think being a part of this film was besides the politics of it, and besides feeling like this was my way, or my way of beginning to rid myself of the kind of monstrous prejudices that I have. And but also from a purely aesthetic perspective, it was great to have a part like this, with a co-actor for both Vivek and I, to get an opportunity to have a two-hander, part, a film with so much given to these two actors to explore. Within a very confined space.
Absolutely.
So it was, that challenge itself was very, very attractive. While the material was very inflammatory, I felt like the material was like something that could easily catch fire if it wasn't dealt with a certain gaze and a certain sensitivity. So there was this, it's like, you're doing something that's really exciting, but also really afraid every step of the way, because you know that a slight misstep can change
Absolutely.
the feeling.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things, one of those rooms that you enter, that you're excited to enter and really privileged to enter, and of course very entitled to enter. But at the same time, in that room, there is a way to move around that room, a very specific way to move around the room. And I think that is what was really exciting for, the three of us to figure out as a director and as us actors, for us to, like, it's like a game of chess. And I shouldn't actually say game of chess, because I don't know chess at all. But I know it was like but you know what I mean? It's these
of course,
moves,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
In fact, the next move.
Yeah.
And I really felt that very consciously in this film, that the three of us were really like moving together.
Yeah.
And looking at each other for understanding how the next step would pan out and how that would affect the step after that and the step before that. So it was really a wonderful feeling from a point of view of an actor.
Yeah. Vivek, I want to add on, apart from the same question, I want to add another question to it. Like, was it hard to process this part that you played, and convince yourself that, oh, this can happen, I can, or this character can fall in love with this domestic life? How did you process it internally to bring yourself to do that convincingly?
Well, it's about love, and I also love love. Love is quite beautiful, whether it's in whichever relationship. So, and both of these people have made certain choices in their life which have led them to that place. And apart from love, I think Ashwin feels a lot of admiration for how Ratna has carried her life despite her struggles. So there was a lot for Ashwin to find in there that was very attractive about this person, because he's kind of trapped with all these privileges and all these options in his life, and these things have kind of inhibited him rather than letting him excel in life. And here comes this person who was widowed at a very young age, and here she is leading her village and picking up new things and wanting to better herself. Well, that's very attractive, I think, in any scenario. So for me, like, I looked at it from that point of view. But yes, it is. I think it was very important that the entire subject was dealt with a lot of sensitivity and care, and it was very important for me to understand what Rohina's desires and intentions were from the script, and most of my confidence came from that. Like, I knew what she was trying to do and the way she was going about it through the workshop. And once we started shooting, the kind of freedom we had, like, Tilly was saying, to really create that space and have that communication open. So at no point does Ratna feel that, her space is being encroached or that status game or the class game is coming in. So we were all just so sensitive about it. That gave me a lot of confidence when I was reading it and when I started working on it, to really go ahead with it. I don't know if in the real world it will be really possible or not. But, it's a story, and then once you commit to it, then you just go with it. Like, in the world of Ashwin and Ratna, or whatever Ashwin thinks in the film, he has created that world. You don't know what happens, like whether she moves to the US and how does he introduce her to her friends, or what happens. They don't know that. But then that's where this thing about love became very exciting to me, because I think I've also become very cynical in life, But when I was younger, 13, 14, 15, the first time you have dates, and you really believe in that idea of love, and it's so pure and it's innocent and it's just driven by an attraction that you can't even articulate. No, I was just saying that, I've been wanting to work with Tilly, and I'm a big fan of her work. So the fact that this was going to happen and I was going to get to do this part with Tilotma, and the fact that Rohina trusted me after the auditioning process to give me this opportunity, to carry a film like that, that it's very exciting for an actor, because you're also looking for work. A lot of time, a lot of scripts that come, they're not very engaging, or you don't really enjoy it, So it takes a long time to find the right project. And then we are very fortunate that the feelings we felt while shooting it and the film has had the success it has had, because a lot of time, all of this doesn't happen. So I'm very appreciative of everything that has happened around Sir, and very appreciative of being led by Rohina. So these things are all very exciting, and yeah, just the idea of doing a love story. I was very happy to do a love story. I always want to do a love story. So this is a great gift for me.
Yeah, it's a great gift. I mean, I loved watching this love story only. I wanted somebody like Ratna in my house. Then I wanted somebody who knows what I want, like Ratna, who's cooking the best food. And I was like, how does she know to make this? Like, how does she know how to make a roll? How does she know? So, there were so many questions. How does she know how to make this continental stuff? How is she making these? Did she make these noodles or you ordered? All these kind of things were coming, which was so random. Like, how does she know to do this? Like maybe Divya Seth taught her, probably when she hired her. Stuff like that. But Rohina, I want to ask you that for mindsets to change, and which is so important, there's so much dialogue happening on so many things across the globe, and with this whole globalization, everybody's talking, everybody has a voice and opinion. How do you think with film, at least, because that's something that really influences a lot of us, can we try and change mindsets towards these little things which go a long way?
I've gotten a lot of messages on social media talking about this, what a man should be like. Like someone tweeted to me yesterday to say, like, do Indian men like this even exist? So if you create create characters that people that one can aspire to, or role models, one can hope that somewhere. I mean, there's one aspect is the class dynamic, but also it's this sort of non-macho man, right? Who's not taking so much space, who's not posturing, like who is vulnerable. These kinds of every small choice that you make as a writer or as a director, right? How is the woman portrayed? Who's taking decisions?
Yeah.
Who's playing what? Sort of how are the gender roles done? All the little choices. I think maybe not right away and maybe not quickly, but I hope that somewhere it impacts you, that it stays with you, just as it's another way to be. If a man watching Vivek's performance feels that, yeah, it's okay to be vulnerable, as opposed to always being like, the strong, silent, brooding guy, but without any, it's okay to break down or to be weak. So I think not weak. I don't think that's weak. I think being vulnerable is fine. But so that's my hope, it's baby steps. And just and from the and in the from the class point of view, I would just hope that people look at the person who brings them their tea, like look in their eyes and just say thank you. Just be acknowledge that this is a person who has a full life, and their own desires and their own dreams, and then they don't just exist to serve you, and not just and I think it's for everything. We have so many prejudices in all ways, right? We make so many assumptions about people based on the fact that, oh, this one's an investment banker or a lawyer, they must be this. They're not. I mean, they're just people, and who each individual is it's a whole person.
Right.
So I think it's a.
Finally, for the three of you, I want to ask all three of you, because the film, I mean, there was just so much. Like, I love the scene where you are caught trying out that red kurta in the bedroom, and then those little things when you come, put the tray and you walk off, and it's a film where you don't want to miss even a single expression that happens, or even a single action of Vivek or Ashwin and Ratna. Like when you keep the tray and walk away, even that little nod that probably Vivek gives you or looks at you, you don't want to miss it. So what has been, for the three of you, the most difficult scene in this film? For the two of you acting, and of course Rohina, for you, what has been the most toughest scene to direct?
I have my answer if you want.
Yes, please Vivek, go ahead.
Please.
The hallway, the door. How many times we had to open the door, say hi, walk past. Because we did that, like, I don't know how many times, I don't even remember. Like, things like that, smaller things like that, like you said, about getting served on the dinner table, but most importantly, leaving the house and entering the house at that doorway, but usually Ratna is opening the door or I'm opening the door from outside. That was, because how many times can you do the same thing, but it's not the same thing. And when I read it, I was like, oh God, we're at the door again. But once we got there, and the first time we got to the door and the second time we got to the door, without I realized, oh shit, it is slightly different. This is again slightly different. Oh, there's another layer I can find, and anytime I was lost, Rohina was there to kind of ask the right questions to make you arrive there. If it's kind of, as if you're not present. But yeah, that was to be silent and really be listening and present. and at the same time to have the pressure of like, well, I can't let her know that I'm listening to her. She's my maid. I mean, that's a bit odd, like all of that playing in your head, and you don't know, and then to surprise yourself when a moment of tenderness happens, like, oh, this is new. Like, those were really hard for me, just the smaller things, and then, so that was mine.
Nice. Yeah. Very, very nice one. Tillotama, what about you?
It was not a particular scene as much as for me the challenge was remembering and being aware of the sequence of scenes, because like Gomba said, the door may open many times, but the characters are in different places each time.
Yeah.
In their relationship with each other and in their relationship with the house. So similarly, the act of cooking a meal, but if you find yourself, you might have fallen in love with the person you're cooking the meal for, the meal itself, the act of cooking the meal becomes different. The act of going from the passage, traveling the passage from the kitchen to his bedroom, the awareness of his personal space becomes so much more heightened. So I think it was those things that कहीं वो miss ना हो जाए excitement में कि करना है, खाना कैसे बना रही हूँ, वो सारा ठीक है कि नहीं, मेरा बिजनेस जो है एक्टर का, मतलब यहाँ से तड़का यहाँ होगा, फेमिलियरिटी लगनी चाहिए कि किचन तो मेरा ही है, अब बनाया है पारुल और रोएना ने सेट बनाया है, पर ये वो उसमें पड़ जाते हैं ना इतना कि ये ना लगे किसी को कि किचन में रचना को पता है कि मतलब हींग कहाँ है, सरसों कहाँ है, तो मैं उस सब में इतनी लगी हुई थी कि सडनली मुझे लगा यार एक मिनट रुक जा, हींग को छोड़, इसके पहले क्या हुआ था और इसके बाद क्या हुआ है, that was for me more challenging really, and I think for me the last scene of the film, which I don't want to say what the last scene is, but I didn't think that the last scene would be so difficult for Tillotama to perform, where she just has to say one word.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
One word on a phone call.
And we did that real, because I was not with them. I had flown back to Singapore because I'm from there. So
what?
She had called me and they were on set. Yeah.
Yes, he's from Singapore, by the way. I was waiting.
What? Like, are you serious?
Yeah. I grew up there, so I'm Singapore. I did army and all, so I'm Singaporean. Yeah.
Oh my God, we need to have another conversation completely later. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just saying that, the last scene that she's talking about, these are the nice things that, Rowena understood and just allowed us. Like, hey, on this day, we'll be shooting that scene, Tilly's going to call you. Like, be ready for that call, and she called me without any warning, and she called and I knew straight away,
Right.
And small things like that, the director allows you to do are great gifts, which you don't realize until the process is done, which I've realized a lot, Rowena, by the way.
Right.
So thank you.
Rowena, do you want to say which scene you enjoyed the most, or which was your my scene of the film kind of a thing?
To be honest, I don't have one. I think I've been trying to think about it sort of while I'm listening to them. I'm trying to think, and I feel like I think I was so inside the process that I don't have a sense of at every moment you're so there that I wasn't really taking I didn't have the distance to be like, I'm not. I relied a lot on Dominique Conant, the cinematographer, the DOP, who so I just wanted to go back to something Vivek and Tillotama were talking about earlier about how the space that they had to work and how things evolved, and a lot of that was possible because we had a very generous DOP who was like, listen, it's okay, we can work around the actors. It wasn't, there was no like, this is the shot breakdown and this is your mark and this is what you have to do. It was really flexible and it was really trusting them because we understood. And we even pushed for, I had to push to make sure that we could shoot as chronologically as possible,
right?
So that it, to try to make it, because, otherwise to tell Vivek and Tillotama, okay, now let's do like 20 corridor shots one after the other. Like, it's not, how will they follow, So we tried to kind of try to break it down in a way that would allow them emotionally to follow, and all that was also possible because you have the support of your crew.
This was a film that I didn't want it to end, honestly. I mean, sequel or not, I really it felt that the film, I can watch it for another hour or so. I want to see what's happening now. They've fallen in love, and how deep would Ashwin go, and what would Ratna do, and I didn't want it to end. So I really, really hope, I know it's very cliched, but I really hope you do have a sequel, because I would love to watch what happens. And even if they get together together, don't get together, or something completely different. Like I had that thought, like Vivek said, maybe, why don't you just take her to the US? Who would know? And then, kind of whatever, groom her or whatever, and bring her back. Like, who cares? I had this stupid fleeting thought in my head as well.
Why is it stupid?
I mean, I was like, then again, that's shallow. No, so you still want her to be groomed and come back. So you cannot accept that, okay, just accept her the way she is. And, then it's still going back to that prejudice. नहीं, उसको ठीक से बनाओ, जैसे तुम्हारी family accept करे और groom करके लेकर आओ.
I think Ashwin's character is the one that needs more grooming than Ratna's character. Ratna has been trained under the University of Rowena Guerra. He can hold a blanket, a serviette, and a roti like
I can imagine. Thank you guys. Thank you for talking to Let's Think Aloud and Radio Chutney. I enjoyed the film, and I'm sure a lot of people across the globe have. And 2021 has definitely started on such a promising note with such a beautiful film in the first 15 days of the year. And I'm so proud of all of you. And Rohina, more power to you, more films from you. And Tillotama, Vivek, I mean, we've always been watching you all and love you guys a lot. And more power to all of you. Bye.
Thank you for supporting.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Mani. Bye.